Kenneth Director now. He is an attorney for the Champlain Tower. Kenneth, thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
I'd like to begin with what some of the families are sharing with us. They're dealing with pain, they're dealing with grief, confusion, and also frustration that there had been some frustration expressed that there were cracks in the foundation and the concrete at this building. What can you tell us about what was happening before Wednesday's collapse?
Well, let's start with the first part of your comment, if I may. I spent the day with the board, except for the one who's still missing. Almost all of these board members reside in and were in the building the other night when this happened. They too are dealing with grief and frustration and loss. And they want the same thing everybody else wants. They want answers as to how this happened. And we can all speculate. There was a crack, there was a noise. You've just interviewed engineers, and all of the other news media are talking to engineers. None of them is prepared to render an opinion with any certainty as to what caused this. We want to know what caused this. Everyone involved is hiring their own engineer to get to the bottom of this. The city, the county, the insurance companies, the association themselves, everyone wants answers, and those answers will come from engineers. And it is almost unfair to speculate as to causes and try to point fingers while we are still searching for people in the rubble. The board members of this condominium serve as volunteers. They did the right thing by hiring an engineer to investigate, to inspect the building, to tell them what problems existed, and to tell them what needed to be done to fix it and how to prioritize the work. And that is why they had already started on the roof, which was just inspected by the city I believe the day before or the day that this happened.
I certainly understand your perspective on that, and answers will come with time, but part of the investigation, as you understand, is asking those questions. Who did you know in the building, and who are you thinking about tonight as you grieve?
I've been doing this representing community associations for nearly 40 years. I've met thousands and thousands of people. I have been to many meetings at the Champlain Tower South. I've sat in their conference room, and during the last year, during the COVID crisis, I attended meetings by Zoom. I knew a lot of people in the building, not just the board members, and many of the people I knew are still missing. And this is, in 40 years, I have never been through anything as tragic like this in my professional life, and frankly, very few things in my personal life. This is shocking, and it's traumatic, and it is important that as we look for answers, which we certainly should do and everybody should want to do, I cannot urge you strongly enough, we cannot lose sight of the human issue and the human cost of what happened here.
159 people still unaccounted for, 4 lives lost. Before I let you go, Kenny, how are you holding up tonight?
It was difficult because I sat with the board for 3 or 4 hours today, again, all but the one who is missing and presumed deceased. And there was a lot of crying, there was a lot of hugging, there was a lot of attempts to plan, what do we do next? How do we provide resources for our people? We're going to mobilize FEMA. We're going to mobilize the Red Cross. We're reaching out to the federal government. We're reaching out to the state government. We're reaching out to the town. What resources can we mobilize to help our people get situated and get stabilized and help them be able to process their grief while not living in a hotel or looking for a place to rest their head? So the focus right now is to get answers and to take care of the people who are suffering. My final comment, if you'll indulge me, is there's a concern that more than half the people who lived in this building are gone.
Yeah. Kenny, my heart goes out to you and everybody involved, and I know that you and we as well will continue to search for answers in time to understand why this happened and how we prevent it from ever happening again. Kenny, Director, thank you.
Thank you for having me. Have a good evening.